Let's talk. Are you ready to chat?
On a journey. He was lovely and
Are you ready to kick it?
So play with me. See y'all at the next step because I'm almost halfway 100.
Let's talk.
On a journey to beautify myself because
Join in.
I'm sharing old stories to learn and grow.
ENT.
One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, one night only, this is it. I like that. Drink up, get lit. Hey, hey, hey. Woo. One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, who tryna match me for the weekend? Hey, let's have a party for the weekend. Hey. One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, who tryna match me for the weekend? Let's have a party for the weekend. First thing first, hit up everybody. Tell them it's a party my way, bring everybody. Leave the drama at home, we don't need that. Too many females in here not to notice them. So get your drink on, get your boogie on. If you brought your own, roll up and smoke on. High times, good vibes, we gon' show out tonight. So come through, play spades if you want to. Turn the music up louder, it's on you. Two-stepping, Millie rocking, they all swagging. Look what happened, I got them dancing, they all laughing. They all showing love, no hate though. All day, you know my name though. Cups in the air while you pour it up. Watch out, turn it up. One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, who tryna match me for the weekend? Hey, let's have a party for the weekend. Hey, one night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, who tryna match me for the weekend? Let's have a party for the weekend. One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, hey. Woo! One night only, this is it. Drink up, get lit. Hey, who tryna match me for the weekend? Hey, let's have a party for the weekend. Hey, one night only, this is
The
it.
parents of Nolan Wells speaking out, calling for a full and transparent investigation into their son's death.
We just want to know what happened and why our baby didn't come home.
Wells mysteriously disappeared on the 4th of July after boating to Horn Island off the coast of Mississippi with friends. Those friends telling investigators Wells decided to stay on the island.
It's so hard for me to believe that he would choose to stay on the island. It just wasn't his character. It wasn't his character.
2 days later, police discovered Wells's body on the north end of the island in the water. And this morning, there are new questions about his cell phone. Wells's mother telling our Michael Strahan his phone was left behind. And when the family retrieved it, it appeared some texts were deleted and his Snapchat accounts were empty.
I was just like, that can't be. Like, I've seen Nolan whenever he snaps, like when he goes and he's having fun, like he does videos, like there was absolutely nothing.
Police are also looking at this video posted to social media that the family says shows an argument involving Wells on July 4th, but the contents are unclear. The sheriff's department is asking the family to turn over the phone to investigators.
We're working towards the same goal as the family, okay? We want a thorough investigation.
But the family has decided to do an independent investigation, including their own autopsy. Their son's body has been flown from Mississippi to Washington, D.C. with the help of former NFL player and activist Colin Kaepernick.
It is because the family has distrust of the Mississippi law enforcement officials giving them a fair investigation. There is this notion that, oh, it was nothing wrong, no foul play, let's just sweep it under the rug. Well, we refuse to sweep it under the rug.
Nolan's parents saying they will not give up until they have answers.
He will be missed greatly, not by us, but by the whole community.
He was a special kid, but again, just heart was so big. And we're gonna miss him dearly.
And this morning, the sheriff says investigators and the family share the same goal to find out exactly what happened.
And those parents showed so much strength right here on GMA when they were speaking about that and telling Michael about their story. It's heartbreaking to see what they're going through.
It really is.
Yeah. All right, Ike. Thank you.
Whoa, we are here. Welcome to the 12 p.m. talks. Look who's here with me.
What's good? What's good? What's up?
Wait a minute, why am I pointing and I'm not pointing?
Your angles is wrong. That's what's going on. You got your angles wrong, I guess. Yeah, it's nasty work, man, Mississippi. They on nasty time, man. This case is getting a lot of attention and attraction. You know what I mean? But salute to you. How you feeling? How you doing?
Well, if you can hear, I sound like Oscar the Grouch in the voice. This weather has been taking me out. This raining and then excessive heat. You know, they got to get HARP under control because they're fucking up my summer. So I don't know. They're messing up my damn summer. And then my internet been kind of crazy too. I don't know if you've been experiencing all of that.
I think maybe a couple of times, you know what I'm saying? You know, a few times, yes, you know what I mean? But yeah, other than that, I ain't really had no major issues or nothing like that. I remember there was some updates done, you know, on my TV and stuff like that. I thought that was a little weird, but hey, you know, they're trying to tap in and listen more.
Sure. Wow. They ain't gonna hear nothing good on my end because they keep messing up my summer. But hey, everybody, I am here. We have been good. Well, I haven't been on the internet for 2-3 weeks, but you've been blazing on the internet with your little morning show. Go ahead. What's Charlemagne?
Don't ever compare me to nobody, Charlemagne. Please don't do that. Hell no.
Charlemagne.
I speak real issues, man. Real things. That mother sucker, he's bought and paid for. You know what I'm saying? So there's things that I stand on and I will always expose. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what nationality you are, what color you are. You know, if you got to get exposed, you got to get exposed. Now, that's not my job. That's not my duty. I'm just saying, when it comes to things like this, whether we want to use the word expose or whatever. So I feel like salute to all the content creators that covered this story, that's been pushing it out to where, you know, it finally gained national recognition. Because again, like Benjamin Crump, you know how I feel about him. Like he said, they try to sweep it under the rug and say there's no, you know, nothing to see here, folks. Go about your business, you know. But people want to talk about, oh, Jay-Z's concert. And Jay-Z came out for the first time. He had his hair in the act. Like,
who gives a shit?
Yeah, facts. You know what I'm saying?
And Ben Crump, is he the only black lawyer?
Listen,
in
like
the
I told you,
entire United States of America.
Salute HNIC, salute. Listen, I told you I did a live. I talked about it. I feel like he's an agent. You saw in the clip that you played. I didn't even notice the other agent was standing next to him or in that same footage, trying to get his shot and trying to making sure his hair is pressed the right way, hot combed. Yeah, Mr. Al Sharpton himself. You know what I'm saying? They only come around when it's national news and stuff to where they could look good and, you know, and can do their waving to the people and stuff like that. You know, like I said, you know, I know, you know, you kind of know people that know Benjamin Crump. No disrespect to the man, his family. I just feel like when it's national news stories like this, that's when you see him and you see, you know, the usual suspects, the faces that we used to. They come out of hiding and, you know, want to stand next to the family. You know, stuff like that. You know, I had sent you something. I hear Tyler Perry's getting involved. I hear Colin Kaepernick is getting involved and stuff like that. But yeah, it's nasty work. I feel like they should stand even for the for for the other cases that don't make it, on social media or in mainstream news. I feel like they should come around for that, not only when it benefits them, but it is what it is. We have a lot of these Negrums. That's what they do. Oh, there's a barbecue. You smell that? You smell that? It's like, no, you didn't get invited. Get out of here. But they gonna show up. Yeah. Can I get a
Negrums.
plate? Yeah, Negrums. The Negrums,
We can't find something nicer to call them, but I guess Negrams is it, huh?
Yeah, you told me to be PC, so I'm being PC with it. I got a nasty word for them, but we'll keep it on that level. You know what I'm saying? We'll keep it
But
there.
you know what? Ben Crump actually was in Delaware because there was another crime. The
Hmm.
police in Wilmington killed a young boy. He was, I believe, 14 or 15. And Ben
Who killed
was here
a
too.
14-year-old unalived
Yes,
the 14-year-old?
unalived. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Unalived a
Hmm.
14-year-old boy
Hmm.
in Wilmington.
Okay.
So
Okay.
they shot him. He was screaming that he couldn't breathe, and then they put him in the back of a police car. I'll get his name. I can't quite remember it now
I
because
did
my
hear
brain is
about that case.
foggy.
Yeah, they handcuffed him after the fact that they done,
Yeah,
put
and
some
he died
slugs
in the
in him.
back of the police car.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm.
he was out here for that. I'm starting to think Ben Crump got a clone. I don't know how the hell he's everywhere at once, but he's doing his thing.
Well, when you flying on private jets, you paying for fuel. Whoever's paying for it, whether it's him out of pocket or, he's got some sponsors or whatever, you can be everywhere, you
I
know?
don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know about that. This the way this economy set up. I could barely go to work.
Hmm. Hmm.
So Ben Crump, salute to you, as you would say. And I'm wondering what you doing outside of lawyering,
Hmm.
because
My
to
thing is, last time I checked, isn't he a civil
civil
suit
rights
lawyer?
attorney,
Okay,
isn't
civil
he? I thought
rights
he was like a
attorney.
civil rights attorney. I'm not sure,
Hmm. Yo,
but
what's
go
going
ahead.
on? No, I see it's saying that it's waiting on my channel.
I don't
That's
know
weird.
why is it waiting.
I don't know.
I
Hold on.
don't
Let me get in the
know.
camera. You see that? It says waiting on my
I
end.
am behind the scenes and I am looking and I'm not sure.
Yeah, it says waiting. Yeah. I don't know why. It says upcoming on my end. Yeah,
I
but
have
yeah.
no idea.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
Told
look.
you this computer has been acting so
See? Can you see that?
weird.
Yeah. Shows waiting. But either which way we gonna rock. You know what I'm saying? Um,
All right, let's see if that did it. It's just saying send in the data.
that's weird because it says waiting for Maybach Mel 1804 1227 July 11th, 2026 is what it's showing me on my end. And I refreshed it off my phone plenty of times. I thought maybe it was the phone because there's a little delay, you know.
All right,
Yeah.
I redid it and let's see.
Mhm.
That is so bizarre. I told you the internet has been really different for
Did
me.
you did you refresh your whole system?
I sure did.
Okay. Yeah, it still shows waiting on my end. I mean, but either which way, like I said, we'll do it. Maybe it will pop up after. I don't know. You know
I
what I
have
mean?
no idea at this point. This all of these apps have been acting strange
Hmm.
for the last couple days, even with some of my other lives.
Hmm.
So all right, so let's see. I'm trying to reset and send hello to the people that are watching us and probably confused.
Yeah,
How are
salute.
y'all doing?
Salute. Salute. Hope everyone's having a good Saturday afternoon. Whatever you're doing, whether you're at work, you at home, you know. Appreciate y'all because y'all could be doing anything in the world, but y'all are here with us. Um, yeah, it just shows me it's still in thing on my end. I don't know. But either which way, we're gonna make it do what it do. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I told
Yeah.
you, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, when you
Hey, Angie, baby. She said it's the Mercury retrograde.
okay.
I don't know
Hold
what
on,
it
is she on?
is.
She's on my platform saying that because
She might be on mine.
I don't know. I don't see nothing on my end.
She might be
Um,
on mine. Look at.
yeah. The only person I seen that said salute was HNIC. That's it on my end. That's all I seen on my end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It looks like you upgraded some things on your end because it's asking for a lot of information.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't know
Like
what
you
I
put
upgraded.
categories and everything on there.
Did I listen?
Yes.
Nah, that wasn't me. Maybe it's a clone. It's a Maybach Mel 1804 clone out there. I don't know. I don't. I try to keep it plain and simple.
No, it said you're asking for categories. You're asking for yeah, this is wow.
Mm-hmm. That's news
This
to
is
me.
wow. It says
Ask them for categories.
yeah, for categories. Did you have your stuff on public?
Yeah, it's on public.
No, I'm sorry, private.
No, I didn't. No, I probably have like one video on private. That's about it. I didn't put my lives on private.
Yeah, it's saying that you asking for a lot of stuff.
Hmm. That's how people were able to tap in. You know what I'm saying? I did a live a few days ago talking about this, but I didn't put it on anything. Maybe they just did it. I don't know.
I don't
Like I
know.
said, I try to keep it plain and simple.
It looked like you on some secret squirrel shit. I don't have no idea what you
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah, if Angie's still there, ask her what platform is she on? Like where she's watching this from.
I'm looking. I think she's on Peach ENT.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, salute to Angie baby, for popping in. Cause I told a good brother that I was gonna go live because I guess he's gonna go live and he was like he's gonna tap in. And I was like, all right, you always welcome to tap in. So this is crazy to me. Yeah, it's
It
still saying
is.
yeah, it's still saying upcoming on my end.
I don't know.
Yeah, it shows me on the left, shows you, shows Nolan. You know how you did the thumbnail, and it says upcoming. I don't
Oh
know.
wow.
Yeah,
I
that's. Let
don't know.
me see if it flips. Yeah, look.
No, it did.
See?
Yeah, that is so bizarre.
Yeah, it says upcoming.
Why isn't it? Why is it scared? Maybe if I let me see if I refresh it. Should I refresh it?
Well, what's gonna happen? Is it gonna start all over?
I have no idea what's gonna happen if I refresh this.
Hmm. I mean, let's just do it. I don't. It's cool. Let's just do the live because I know you got stuff you gotta do. I got stuff I gotta do. You know what I mean? So let's just keep rocking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get into Nolan. It said your page isn't live. Yeah, that's what she said. Your page isn't live.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Thank you. Appreciate that, Angel
I
Baby.
have no
Yeah, I
idea.
don't know
It's
what's
like
going on. Yeah. Well, YouTube, I told you a couple of lives that I did, I don't know, weeks ago. I don't know if it was because I was saying some real good shit or whatever. They shut me down twice on my live. I know.
really.
Yeah, I know I mentioned the C word, you know what I mean? The word, and
Mm.
a few times. Yeah, it was live. I had a good amount of people, and boom. It shut down and it was just doing the process thing or whatever, uploading thing. It was doing that. And on my end, it booted me out. I had a few people hit me up like, yo, did you turn off? I'm like, hell no, I was talking. I ain't gonna talk and shut a live off, but I get it. They was just like, yo, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, yo, you was going in. I said, yeah, they don't want me to be great, you know?
Yeah, I think you got some type of I don't know. You probably can't multi-stream, but you could stream
Mm.
on your page. Wow. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like all the go arounds I can't It won't allow me to do
Yeah,
anything.
that's crazy. Cause on my end, I kept refreshing my phone. I'm thinking maybe it was the phone, cause sometimes that's what it be. And I'm like, nah. I mean, how many times I got to refresh it and it never popped up? So yeah, it ain't
Yeah,
letting me
no.
stream. Maybe I don't know. But hey, that's something now I know. So I'm gonna have to probably look into that and see what's going on.
Ooh, excuse me.
Cause I didn't put it on nothing nasty. Yeah, man. Listen, man. You need some natural remedies. Get you some oil of oregano. Get that in your system. Get some ginger in your system. You might need a ginger shot. You know what I mean? You definitely sound like you need all of that. You know. Who said salute, salute? Who said
Lord,
that?
Lord.
Okay, Lord, Lord, salute. But yeah, you need some natural remedies in your system. But
I
yeah,
need
man.
something.
Go ahead. Uh-huh. Yeah.
I said I need something. All right, so let's get into this topic because obviously we've been talking about this back and forth
Mm-hmm.
um with this Nolan thing, and I have done my own personal lives trying
Mm-hmm.
to, I don't know, reach out to the black men in our community because I am actually really at this point afraid for the kids. I don't know what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what is this, like the third young black man to be killed? The fourth,
I can't even keep up, man. I can't even
third or
keep up.
fourth
But there's
that
there's
we
there's been
know
a few.
about publicly. We
Yeah,
don't
there's been a few.
know.
Yeah, there's been a
Yeah,
few. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's been definitely a few. Um, like I told you over the phone, somebody kind of like hit my mind and in a situation where I didn't really think about it. Um, where it was like, yo, this possibly could be a ritual. You know what I mean? I saw a couple of videos some content creators played on Instagram, and I was like, damn, I didn't even think about that. That could have been a form of ritual for, the triple Ks. You know what I mean? It was on 4th of July, where they celebrate that. We that's a whole nother show about 4th of
right.
July, why us folks, shouldn't be celebrating that date. But people gonna do what they want to do. It is what it is. Um, it was the 250th anniversary or whatever. Like I had to enlighten the gentleman the other day about that. I was like, yo, Haitians, I know people feel the way they feel about foreigners, immigrants, whatever title you put on them. Haiti helped America get their independence. For those who don't know, I'm not saying there wasn't no Americans that wasn't standing beside them, helping, this corporation fight and get their independence from the British. But Haiti was alongside and played a major part in that. For the ones who know, y'all already know. But the ones that's way in the back that don't have no clue and idea, you know, this is for you. This education, this enlightenment is for you. Haiti helped out a lot in that, just like we helped liberate slavery in a lot of countries. You know what I'm saying? It's so many countries. Y'all could go do your own research and look it up. Peru, Bolivia, Venezuela, Colombia, so forth and so forth. South America, whatever, freed a lot of these countries. So when I bang this 1804, this ain't no gang banging shit. It's Haitians getting their independence or taking their independence and defeating Napoleon. The ones who know, they know what I stand for. I was born on this soil. So I stand, you know, with the good warriors, the real warriors, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. But it is what it is. People are always going to feel, to me, it don't matter what we calling ourselves. Nothing's going to stop happening to us, our young men, the women, the children. It doesn't matter what we want to call ourselves. We indigenous. Ain't none of this shit gonna matter because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. All of this labels and titles. Oh, we copper, we melanated, we this, we that. Is that gonna stop us from being unalive? Because that's another thing that I've been talking about. There's a lot of hanging going on that they're not broadcasting. They're not even talking about. There's a young lady who left. I kept saying Illinois, Chicago. It's not. Pardon self. It's actually Michigan. She left Michigan to go celebrate Juneteenth in Miami, and they found her hanging. And the police said, "Oh, there's nothing to see here. It was a suicide." And my thing is, it's been a minute since the last time I was in, Michigan and Detroit and all of that area. Last time that I checked, there's a lot of trees up there. Just like there's a lot of trees in Massachusetts. I'm not leaving these big ass oak trees out here that's been under, rooted to the ground years and years to go to a whole nother state to unalive myself. Like it just there's a lot of shit that ain't making sense. Same thing with this Nolan case that they don't talk about, but yeah. What do you feel? What do you feel and what do you think about it?
Well, just to address what you just said when
Mhm,
you was talking about the things that Haitians have done
mhm,
for me, when I look at you, when I look at people, right,
mhm,
and forgive me if it offends anyone that's from another country and you are proud of your culture, I get it.
mhm,
But I have learned to take away nationality
mhm.
and just see black or
Yeah.
colored or whatever.
Well,
So
people for who they are. Hmm.
when
Yep.
you
Yep.
said uh Haiti helped with slavery and all of
Hmm.
that,
Hmm.
in my mind, I take the Haiti out and I
Hmm.
just said a black people helped
Hmm.
this, a black person. And I
Yeah.
think if we all, and maybe we can agree on a different term because we, obviously don't look black. But if
Hmm.
we can take away from the labels
Hmm.
and just see ourselves as one big family that's an extension of each other,
Hmm.
we'll relook at the way our history is,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
if I'm in America and Haitians did this, then I could look at it more so as I did it too. And
Yeah.
it'll empower me. And
Hmm.
maybe I'll love everybody that looks similar to me more. And
Hmm.
maybe I will inspire to protect and be there.
Yeah.
And I hate all of the division. But with this Nolan thing, it really bothers me because it makes me feel like we're already stepping back legally. Donald Trump is successfully doing it. We're stepping back into the Jim Crow era, and that's all this reminds me of.
Hmm.
I feel like Trump being in the office is turned into one big pep rally for racist people,
Hmm.
racist whites. But
Yeah.
then I also believe that it's stirring up the Klan and all. And I don't know if everybody else knows, but they have they're a real live organization with um satellites in different states.
Yeah.
So it's not impossible for them to say, okay, this is our time, let's galvanize and let's harm, injure, or maybe kill black people. And this is what all of this looks like to me.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
People seem to think the Klan is more obvious. They coming out in white sheets and stuff. No, they're not. They're
Hmm.
coming out as cops. They're coming out as lawyers. They're coming out as judges. They're coming out in all capacity that you come out in.
Correct. These
And
people are in everywhere. Correct.
right.
Correct.
So this is
Yeah.
what it looks like to me. So when I hear people all over the internet, well, the corrupt these two people and those two got together, no, I just see the Klan in action. But
Yeah.
because for some reason, I don't know if our memory is selective or we just don't know. We're
Hmm.
not taught this by our families the way we used to. Maybe
Hmm.
black families got comfortable. I mean, I know growing up for me, I was always warned not to go anywhere with a group of white people and be the only black. I'm not understanding all of this.
Yeah.
Like, not to
Yeah.
say that our parents are terrible, but what happened to us as a culture? Why did
Mhm.
we forget? What
Yeah.
happened?
Well,
Why?
that's a rooted question, man. It goes deep because we talked about this on a platform, me, Enemies Public, a few other people talking about the way we were raised. We was taught, like, especially out here, hey, don't go to South Boston. That was predominantly Irish. You're not gonna make it out of there alive. Don't go to the North End. That's predominantly Italian area. Back in my time, I'm talking about, like, the 60s, the 70s, me being a kid in the 80s, we were told certain areas to be careful. Well, I'll say more like as a teenager. For me, in the 90s, I was a teenager. I'm telling my age. So it's like, hey, don't go to this area. Be careful when you move over here. If you going out, try to go out as a group. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing too that we tended to do. We wasn't going out everywhere alone. Yeah, I do that now as a grown man. You know what I'm saying? But when we was a teenager, it would be 5, 10, sometimes 20 of us, going to the movie theaters downtown. You know what I'm saying? Because, anything could happen at any given moment in time. So there's a lot of disconnect with the upbringing then compared to now. You know what I'm saying? This is, again, there's a lot of elders that ain't around, just different upbringing. So there's a lot of, things that's kind of like, one of them questions, man. It's like you got to get to the root of it. It's just like how men nowadays, it's like they could see a female getting beat on because they feel like that's not their girl, that's not their sister, their auntie, their niece, their cousin. They're just gonna stand back. You know what I'm saying? And not partake in it. So there's a lot of reasons why a lot of stuff is happening. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. So it's a lot of
I think
it's uh-huh. Go
everybody
ahead.
in the comments, if y'all just leave y'all opinion as to why y'all believe this is happening, because I'm struggling to understand, and I guess it's a era thing, a generational thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm struggling with this one. I'm struggling. I'm not understanding, why are we choosing to not educate our children personally about our history
Yeah.
and arming them with the information needed.
Mm-hmm.
I always grew up like that. I always grew up to be um cautious around white people. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why people think the devil, and not to say that all of them are devils, and not to say any of them, but I mean, why do you think the devil try to entice you with shit?
Mm-hmm.
They don't just show up and say, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, the
I don't
wolf doesn't show
understand
up
these
as a wolf.
people.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
wolf doesn't show up as a wolf. You know what I mean? It shows up as a sheep, and that's when it gets you. You know what I mean? Same thing with they say when the devil appears, it appears as, someone here to help, as a friend. You know what I'm saying? And it could shape shift into, whatever your vice is. If it's a females you love, it can come in the form as a woman. You know what I mean? So I just feel like this is one of them things, man, where, but again, a lot of these, Negrums ain't reading past a fourth grade level. So if somebody can't even read past a fourth grade level, how are they gonna enlighten their children on anything? You
Well,
know what I
why do you
mean?
need to know how to read? Slaves didn't read and knew better.
Yeah, I know,
After
but
slavery, they didn't read and knew better. I'm
correct.
just not understanding. And you know what? I kinda I am a little upset with myself because I kind of bought into the American dream. I
Mm-hmm.
want to get my kids out of a predominantly black area
Mm-hmm.
for better education, better
Mm-hmm.
opportunities.
Correct.
But
That
how
environment.
safe
Yeah.
is that? Because
Hmm.
then it's like we're bringing our children into these areas where they really aren't accepted. They're
Correct.
tolerated. And I'm just
Correct.
happy that my children knew how to navigate that space, because they could have been Nolan. They could have
Mhm.
had a bunch of white friends and got, you know,
Correct. That's a fact. Correct.
unalive. But
Yeah, we talked
it's
about that too.
scary.
Like that was the good thing that a lot of us grew up in the environment or areas that we grew up in. You know, not everybody falls. Becomes a product of their environment, but being exposed to that, I feel like it is a good thing because you see so much going on. It kind of hit you. Like I told you the story about the first time I saw, the hard, crack. I'll just say it. The first time I saw crack was an older dude. You know what I mean? And he was like, "Shorty, what you doing?" And I remember I told you I used to always go to the corner store with a basketball in my hand, you know. And he exposed that to me, and in a good way. And I loved the way he did it. He said, "You see this? Don't you ever put this in your system. You sell it to make money, but you don't ever do this." And he scared the living crap out of me. He looked like one of them Jamaicans from the Predator. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh shit. You know what I mean? And I told you when I ended up doing time, my last bid that I did, he was in there. And I told him about that. And he was like, for real? I did that? I said, yeah. I told him, I said, bro, you grew up a street away from me. Me and your sister went to the same middle school. Once I started mentioning stuff like that, and it started coming back to him. But he still didn't really recall remembering doing that. I said, bro, you don't know what that did to me. That scared me. They put the fear in me to I don't want to do drugs or be on drugs. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, you always got a basketball. Stay with that basketball. Practice make perfect. And that's why I said, like, that's what I was doing. But when I became a teenager, I wanted to be in the streets and be a knucklehead because at that time I thought it was cool. I can't say that I listened to rap music and rap music made me want to do that. I can't say, that I watched movies that made me wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I had older cousins that was living that lifestyle, doing this, doing that, and you kind of look up to maybe a cousin, or uncle, or pops. So it's not about like they put that on you. I seen it and I wanted to partake in it. You know what I mean? I can never say nobody made me do this. Oh, I had an OG that told me to crash out. No, I didn't have none of that. I grew up with both of my parents in the household. I just was stubborn. I wanted to live a certain lifestyle. You know what I mean? So I don't blame anybody. And I've straight stated this before. Well, I'm grateful and thankful that I had to be sat down a few times. And I mean, I'm talking about behind bars, you know what I'm saying, to where I got the knowledge. Remember, I told you the first time I read one of Dr. Malachi Z. York's books was behind bars. An elder brought it to me and said, hey, read this. When we go on lockdown, you get in that cell, read that. So when we come out for rec, I'm going to question you on stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh shit. He's like, yeah, I'm going to quiz you. I'm going to test you on stuff. I'm going to ask you what this chapter was about. You got to break down the mathematics of that. So I'm happy that happened. I don't have no bad stories about me being behind bars. I'm happy that I went through. Again, you know how people be like, "Oh, if you could relive this or do this over, do you regret this?" I don't regret nothing because what I know now, I would have never learned it if I didn't go to those places. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't have no regrets. You know what I'm saying? The only regret I could say is, yeah, I got caught. That was about it. You know what I'm saying? And I had to go in front of a judge. But other than that, I'm talking about the knowledge that I learned from some of these people that ain't never getting out. I'm happy I went there at the time. That's why it's like, yo, I be sharing and I be telling people like when you going through something, you're meant to go through that. It's to make you a better person, for you to mold you into who you supposed to become, or you get the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And moving forward, you know what to do. And knowledge is for everyone. I feel like we all here for a reason. You just got to find out what's your reason. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I feel you
Mm.
with the upbringing. There's been a gap and disconnect. Like I told you, I was trying to motivate a kid. I was saying some things in our native language in Haitian Creole. He went back and told his mother, and his mother came up and was like, "Oh, my son said you said." And I'm like, I was motivating him. I wasn't trying to break him down with words. I was using those words. And his sister was on the same football team. This is a Pop Warner team, 14 and under. So I had the older kids about to go into high school. His sister never had no problems with what we were saying to her as a girl. You get what I'm saying? But he went. But guess what? When he lost half of his body, lost like close to 100 pounds and everything, guess who was happy when that happened? The same person that was complaining about the words I was using to motivate their son. There's a lot of that too. When you try to talk to these youngins, you got the mother, oh, you're not his daddy. And it's just a lot, man. It's a lot that goes on with this shit, man. Believe you me, I'm first contest to this. I coached basketball, AAU basketball teams, 18 and under, 16 and under. And you get that. Some parents, they don't mind you doing that. They'll tell you straight up, if you got to say certain things, you do that to motivate. But we're in a different time. So certain words you can't use. If y'all heard the words that my coaches were saying to me and other players on the team, man, that man probably would have been put in jail for verbal abuse. Not even, he didn't put hands on us or nothing. You get grabbed on your wrist and all of that, but nobody was going running home like, oh, daddy, coach grabbed my wrist. No. If he yanked you up, it's because of something that you did bad. Now, it's just, we in a whole different world, man. It's a whole different world now.
Yeah, a whole different blind world. Hi, brother Nasir.
Salute, brother Nasir. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you tapping in.
We're in a whole nother damn world, and
Correct.
I personally feel like the same way. I don't know. It feels like they're gearing us up for a race war that we necessarily aren't prepared for. I think again, not to throw it on y'all back. I think the black man or whatever y'all want to call yourself, it's time for y'all to kind of organize. Make your own little version of the Klan because the Klan has been here just resting, just waiting for this moment. And
Well, can
so,
I say this to what
what's
you
the
just said?
plan?
There is groups that do organize. Me and brother and I said we talked about that. Like, everybody don't got to be in the same area, but find that your tribe, find a group of men that is like minded, and build off of that wherever you at, whether you in Jersey, Philly, Boston, New York, Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? Chicago, Midwest, the West Coast, and you know what I mean, and just have a communication line with other brothers in other states. I feel like there is groups like that is going on. Again, these men can only do but so much. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these youngins, I don't want to call them YNs, but a lot of these youngins, they're not trying to listen to us, man. I'm just being frank. A lot of them, they got all the answers. They know it all. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I used some of my story to tell them. Thank goodness I slowed down, because if I was still moving the way I was moving, I probably wouldn't be here in the physical form, or I would be, away, locked in chains and shit, being using for that free labor, So again, some of them, oh man, you did that in the 90s. And I'm like, yo, homie, I'm never gonna tell you what not to do. But I'm just telling you, if you go do what you just told me you want to do on this person over here, just be prepared to do the time. That's it. You know what I mean? Too many of the older G's or OGs, whatever you want to label it, the elders or the older dudes that is saying, don't do this. I try not to use these words. I just say, hey, if this what you want to slide on your ops, you want to be on demon time, just remember there's consequences to your actions. So just be ready. If you want to pull that trigger, just be ready to go to jail for the rest of your life. That's it. You know what I mean? That's it. I try to give them outlets too. Hey, you need a job? Hey, my homie's hiring over here. He's the manager over here. Again, giving them an outlet, giving them ways. Hey, get into a basketball tournament. Get into football. Get into different things. Because a lot of that stuff is cut too. You know what I mean? A lot of these programs that we grew up on, like members, what was it, the DARE program with the officer friendlies. Again, me and brother Nasir, we talked about this. Like back in our time, the police patrolled neighborhoods. And 9 out of 10 officers that patrolled those neighborhoods, they was from that neighborhood. So people felt comfortable to have a conversation with Officer Johnson and say, yo, Officer Johnson, you know what I'm saying? This and that just happened the other day over here. You might want to come around 6 in the evening, and stuff like that. Now this is a disconnect. They got this code thing called Code 11 or Code 19. That's a worldwide code for police officers where they're supposed to patrol the neighborhoods. You know what they doing out here? I don't know about any other state. They sit in their cars and they have their lights going. Their lights go off. No sirens or nothing, but they have the lights flashing, but they sit in the car. And I read up with Code 19. It's the true definition of it means they're supposed to have pull up in these neighborhoods, park their cars, and patrol the neighborhoods, and they are not patrolling their neighborhoods. They are not doing that. At least, like I said, in my state, in my city, they are not patrolling. They sit in their car and they on their personal phones. You know.
All right. So Talib said this is a psyop meant to spark civil war and to get the black community involved so that it could issue martial law. Don't be fools. I understand that, and I think collectively we all get that. But
Correct.
I still believe white people are always organized.
Mm-hmm.
Black people, even if it's and I'm not saying organized to do anything violent. I'm saying organized so that
To
you can keep in
protect.
contact with each
Correct.
other,
Correct.
protect, offer resources,
Mm-hmm.
have think tanks that can automatically,
Mm-hmm.
act
Correct.
if you needed to
Correct.
as a
Correct.
unit. So let's
Correct.
say each state, I don't know, chapter, let's call it
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the male prophet.
Mm-hmm.
So there should be a chapter of male prophet in every state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody should open one.
Correct.
It should be a huge meeting, maybe twice a year. What are we working
Correct.
on? What are we doing?
Correct.
Ideas. This is what's going on in my community. We
Correct.
need help with this. And then the
Yeah.
other state said, we tackled that. Here's how we do it. Just
Correct. Correct.
organize, sort of
Correct.
like uninfiltrated, in which I doubt it. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's going to be some type of traitor in there.
Correct. Agent of chaos.
Uninfiltrated
Correct.
NAACP sort of.
Mhm.
We need to create something
Yeah, like what
for
the Black
us.
Panther Party really stood for. But before they got infiltrated by the agents and stuff, that's what they was doing. It was different chapters in different cities and stuff like that. I feel you. And to answer to live, I don't feel like a lot of it is psyop. Some of this stuff is really happening. Not all of it is psyop. Like you said, I understand and understand some of it is psyops. This is what they want. They playing off of emotions and feelings and stuff like that to harness off of us. Some of us who know, we already know. That's why a lot of this stuff I don't even say. Because for the most part, some of the people that subscribe to me, we have these conversations on platforms. You tapped in on Big Dog Philly OGs a few times. You may not be in the chat like that, but you be like, oh yeah, I was listening to y'all build the other day. I felt like y'all had a good topic. But just like me and brother Nasir, we was on a platform and some young dude gets on there and says, oh, I don't feel like there's any racism going on. And I'm like, brother, and the brother's asking him, how old are you? And he wants to play games. Bro, you can't say there's no racism going on. You can't say there's no prejudice going on. Like some people, again, me and that brother, we be talking behind the scenes. And he said, man, some of our builds on the phone should be audio recorded because we be coming up with solutions, how we can move forward and stuff like that. But we already know there's going to be agents, there's going to be defectors or people that's just going to not be on board. And I'm cool with that. Everybody's not going to get along. I get that. The whole world's not going to be all kumbaya and we're going to be holding hands and rocking left to right. I super get that. You know what I mean? And those are the people I don't want near me. I don't want no agents of chaos. I want generals with me. You know what I'm saying? Real true warriors who stand on business. That brother used to be part of some stuff. You know what I mean? And if he wants to come up, and he wants to talk, yeah, I'll let him do that. But for the most part, like I said, there's still some chapters out there, groups, clubs, whatever you want to call it. I ain't talking about no gang banging shit. You know what I mean? Talking about real groups out there that I know Detroit, they have one that's kind of like the what was it, Guardian Angels, when there's something that goes on in the urban areas, they walk around, make sure if people feel frightened, they stand there, and add protection. There's still some of these groups, out there and stuff like that. I just wanted to put that out there.
Yes. Brother Nasir said, yes, sir. Something is definitely on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Stand by. We got y'all. We will organize, strategize, and deputize. Lord said they changed the game when they shut down youth centers and trade schools.
Correct.
They knew what they were doing. To answer that, I
Mm-hmm.
think this is the problem. When you're not organized within yourselves, like I have two nonprofits. So it doesn't matter what the government does. I do what I want because I'm not funded. We
Mm-hmm.
have enough money collectively to
To do our
fund
own.
whatever it is we want.
Correct.
To where
Correct.
you won't have to worry about anybody shutting down anything.
Correct. Correct. That's
We
another thing that we
also
talk about. Yep. Go ahead.
Yes, we
Mm-hmm.
have. We also have enough money collectively, and I know a lot of people don't believe in politics, but we
Mm-hmm.
have enough money collectively to get behind any candidate that we want. We just have to do, like I said, like the whites. They have several groups. The Klan is just one that we know of. That
Mm-hmm.
they collectively organize and they use their funds. They arm themselves with their funds. You
Correct.
don't have to necessarily knuckle up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We
I mean,
feel
but
like
that,
that's
but
the
that is,
solution.
but in order to fight fear, it's not fair if, I'm telling you I can have all the guns and the armor, but you can't. That's not a fair
Right.
fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, you know, if that's where we're gonna take it, yeah, we gotta match that
But you
type of
don't have
energy.
to. I don't think
No,
we.
of
Yeah,
course.
we do.
Yeah.
If you get into that situation,
Correct. Correct.
but I
Correct.
think for now we just need to be intentional about organizing within ourselves. Again, that's why I said at the top of the show,
Hmm.
all this fucking division. about you're Haitian, I'm part Jamaican,
yeah,
this
yeah,
one is Hawaiian. Guess
yeah.
what? When I look on this camera and when a white person look on this camera and an Asian person look on this camera, they see the hard ERs up there. And we
Correct.
wasting our time being everything else but together,
That's a
but
fact.
one big family.
Correct.
Only thing
That's a
happened
fact.
is you got dropped off over there, I got dropped off over there, or whatever you want to believe. We're the same
Yeah, yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah.
We need to
That's a
get it
fact.
the fuck together. I'm serious. We
Yeah.
need an organization, 52 men meeting up and going back to their and starting little territories within each state. Let's
Correct.
get it. Let's take our
Correct.
money and invest it in politicians. Hell, let's take our money and get a compound. I see online these white people getting compounds for themselves getting ready.
Mm-hmm.
And we
Mm-hmm.
still worried about who's indigenous or not. I don't give a damn. I see
Yeah,
brown.
facts. Yeah, that's the shit I be saying too. No disrespect to nobody. That's not gonna matter when shit hits the fan. And I'm not trying to be political correct about it. I'm being straight up blunt and honest about it. You know what I'm saying? Being indigenous, being this, act is not labels, titles is not gonna matter when shit hits the fan. You know what I'm saying? Like how you said, the women's gonna need to be protected. Some young children is gonna be needed to be protected. And this is why I've been preaching, not preaching, but telling some females that I know or women that I'm cool with, hey, you ain't got no record. Go get a training course, man. Start going to the range, target practice, get your license to bear arm and all of that. Do it the right way, before they start putting, making it tough for us. I've said this plenty of time and I'm gonna keep saying it. I have lots of tons of friends that's in different military branches, right? Whether they this, they that. You know what some of what they do a lot? Because they talk about seeing or hearing the white people do it. The white folks, when Tommy goes to the army and he gets that that training, the tactical fighting and how to, do this and do that, they come back. And you know what they do? Like how you said, a lot of them live on land. They have trees, they have acres. Hey, today is Saturday. Everybody congregates at 2 o'clock. Everybody's bringing their weapons and stuff like that. And he's training everybody. He's training the mother, the grandmother, the uncle. That's what they do. We don't have enough of that happening for us in our communities. There's some people that's doing it, but for the most part, they doing that. They ahead of the game, like you said. And we should already know that. They way ahead of us, like you said. Oh, brother Nasir he's from Jersey. I don't like nobody from Jersey to live being in Nevada. Oh, I don't like dudes from Nevada. We still have this crab in the barrel mentality about states and cities that's not ours. Blocks, like I keep saying, projects. Yeah, when you young and dumb and you don't know no better, that's the time to do that. And I'm just saying, I'm not even making an excuse. I'm just saying your mentality's not right. But we can't be 50, 60 and still on that type of time. That is just, it is what it is, man. That's why I said I want generals next to me, man. Generals are the ones who act on war and put the plan together. You know what I'm saying? For real. For the most part, a lot of these generals, you don't hear none of them being unalive. You know what I'm saying? It's the soldiers that get unalive, unfortunately. But what I'm saying is, I'm just making shit funny. I'm not laughing at nothing like that. I'm just saying I want 5-star generals next to me, men who can critical think and free think. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want standing next to me. Brother Nasir always said, don't get in front of my path. When I'm letting it off, don't stand there talking about, hold on, brother. Let's have a conversation with them. Nah, man, we beyond having conversations. Malcolm X tried to do that. Martin Luther King tried to do that, and ain't nothing getting better. The difference is somebody asked me, what's the difference? Because they said Maybach, people were getting hung in the 80s. You was just young. It was happening in the 70s and 60s. I told the brother, I said, yo, I get that. Same thing with our older, elders and stuff. Crime was still happening. The difference between then and now is that it's more, put out to the masses for everyone to see. That's the only difference. There was tons of murders. I remember Massachusetts at one point was at the top, in the top 10 for murder capital. You feel what I'm saying? and stuff like that. Stuff is still happening. I'm not saying murders ain't happening and all of that. I'm just saying it's just more broadcast now because of these phones, and the technology that we have. We can see it more. It's at the tip of our fingers. Doesn't mean that murders is gonna stop happening. Doesn't mean that there ain't gonna be no black on black crime for the, whatever. That's always gonna happen. I don't live in a delusional
Black
world.
on black crime. It's white on white crime. You kill
Correct.
where you live.
Correct. They don't put it for us to see. That's the only difference. We all pass, like I said. We don't got to talk about the broadcasting, the casting spells. A lot of us know about all of that. So we don't even got to have that conversation. It's about what's the solutions? How can we, like I said, me and the brother, we have a bunch of builds behind the phone where he's like, yo, I got this, I could help out. I can give you the tools and everything you need, and you could start it in your own city. I don't have to worry about you, how you recruit and all of that. I already know how your mind works. So I know you're going to have warriors with you. And that's what it's about.
Well, no, I'm sorry. Just to create an organization, it has to be a collective of people that come together and decide
No,
how it
that's what I'm
runs.
saying. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying just give me the information for myself only. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's to start something like we was talking about, having a chapter out here. You know what I'm saying? And then somebody, the next thing, the next chapter or the next state, they do the same thing. Connecticut, Rhode Island, and it continue on to trickle to where it's like you said, we have different chapters in the corporation or America. You know what I'm saying? Where brothers, like you said, we meet up once or twice somewhere where everyone can meet up, like how they did the Millionaire March thing, something like that. But to really move it something forward, because that
A
Million Man
real
March, I'm sorry,
movement.
yeah, it was good for that time period, but it didn't stop nothing.
Yeah,
It
I
didn't
think
stop
something
nothing.
like that would be beautiful because let's just say, I don't know, California, the people there are hungry. They don't have funds for food, and the government won't help.
Correct.
That's when the organization, as a collective,
That's a
if you
fact.
turn it into a nonprofit, you might have the money
Correct.
if each black person donated monthly and say,
Correct.
okay, let's take these funds and allocate it to California to help feed
Correct.
our people.
Correct.
It
Correct.
would be amazing, but
Correct.
I'm sure everybody want to hear about Nolan. Do you want me to play this clip
Yeah, go ahead.
about
Yeah, that's
him?
fine. Yeah, that's fine.
One second.
I want everybody to just listen to me. 'Cause I'm tired of talking sometimes, man. For real. About the action. You playing the audio? I don't hear anything. It said audio is muted. If you can hear me, Peach. Audio is muted. I don't hear anything either.
I don't know what is going on with this app today. We must be really saying a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, they said Lord and Enemies
We
Public
are
said the audio.
sorry. Yeah, but I don't know. It's like maybe we saying too much because this app is not allowing us to do too much of anything today, and I'm shocked because we normally play videos all the time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, let us come up here talking some nonsense. Oh, everything will be working perfect. For real. Oh, they let that shit go. Oh yeah, look, he's calling her a bitch and You know, I be saying that. If I go live and I'm just straight on negative time, or I have hundreds of people on my live, you know, but when you talking some real shit, empowerment, they, you know, like I said, I got shut down twice by YouTube. You know, I'm telling people to take CMOS and this and that, and they're like, "Oh no, we don't need this guy on here talking about what CMOS does and soursop, how good it is for what." You know what I mean?
All right, let me see if I play it here. See if this one plays because this is crazy.
Hmm.
Everything we play is not
Family,
playing.
Yeah,
Colin
I hear that
Kaepernick
one.
helped
That one's good.
pay for the independent autopsy. We flew his body up from Mississippi to D.C. because they wanted an autopsy done by a person with no interaction with the Mississippi law enforcement because there's an issue of trust here.
Mhm. That played. That was good.
You can hear that.
Yeah, I heard that. Definitely. Did y'all hear that in the chat? If y'all heard that in the chat, put a thumbs up, please.
All right, so I'm gonna pull up the other video. I'm because I'm
If y'all heard
telling you,
that
I don't
last
know
audio,
what's
please put
going.
a thumbs up. Yeah, I heard that. And I hear it. I heard it play, so I know they heard it.
That is
Hmm.
something. All right, so I'm gonna play the one you gave me.
Hmm.
Let's see if that
Didn't want to
plays.
come up off them keys.
I hear that too.
Allegedly, Jax didn't want to come up off Nolan Wells' keys to his car that was parked on his property, okay, on his home on the lawn. So what we just found out at the press conference, according to Nolan Wells' dad, is that the family showed up to this home, okay? I'm assuming this is the same home where the phone was. He goes to get the keys from the house because Nolan's car is parked there. So the dad goes, asks the boy. He said the boy came out, looked like he had just woken up, and his hair was all over the place. His hair was disheveled. So I'm assuming that he's talking about the one that's over here in the corner. In my opinion, those were not his friends, and they know more than they're letting on.
Got to the house, a few of his friends, they were already there. And they were at the door in the house, asking questions. So when I walked up, they were getting, things were getting kind of tense. So I turned to them and told them, I need you guys to calm down. I don't do this to me right now. I need them to kind of trust me so they can give me something. So I was able to calm them down. So the guy, he's in one of the pictures. He came out of the room, half asleep or whatever, where I think Jax or whatever. And I said, look, I'm Nolan's father. I'm here to get his keys so I can get his car. I said, he's like,
His car was in the yard.
his car's parked in the yard. So he was like, I don't know, man. Nolan's like my brother. I said, well, if Nolan was like your brother, would you please go in your room and see if you can find my son's keys so I can take his car home? He walks off, 2 or 3 minutes, come back. I can't find the keys. I said, okay. So at that point, I get the boys and I get to move them out the house because I didn't want them to go into the house and start tearing up these people's houses because then that would be a whole other situation. So walk outside by the car. One of the guys that was in the house with us, he was on the phone with a girl, and the girl told him that Nolan's keys were on top of this Jax guy's Xbox in the house because apparently she was there with him earlier. So he goes back up to the door by himself, and 5 minutes later, the keys come out. So now I feel like you done lied to me. So now I'm really like in distress with you. But as far as that night goes, if I knew anyone who had a boat, I would have went out that night looking for my son. We tried, but I don't have friends with boats.
Allegedly, Jax didn't want to come up off them.
Yeah, it's nasty work, man. Nasty work. What happened? He got to wait 5 minutes or so for his son's car keys. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Then another thing too, I wanted to add, that's an update that, and I told you about it, is that when they did the autopsy on Nolan's body, they did not find any type of fluid in
He
his
wasn't
lungs.
waterlogged.
Yeah, he wasn't waterlogged at all. So what is that telling you? You know, they did what they did, and then they put him in there. You know what I'm saying? It's just a bunch of stuff that don't make sense. Again, the phone. How was the phone unlocked when he had facial recognition or face ID to unlock his phone? He didn't use the
Or a
thumbprint.
fingerprint.
Yeah, but either which way, you have to have the body to do that. Correct? Right? Come on. No one's just giving you the phone like that. Then I said this too on the live that I did. Um, that the girl that he left intact. He was alive when he left her, and even the parents said bye to him. And he told the girl and the parents that he was gonna go back and chill with his homies, these dudes. Then another thing from the footages that I seen, the only way in to that Horn Island, you have to go by boat. There's no driving, there's no road to it. You drive there, and then you have to get in a boat to go to this island and party. From all the pictures that I seen or video, there was no other blacks there. And he was the only one. And it's like, yo, bro, you're not paying attention to your surrounding. You're not checking to see who's around you, who you around. I don't get it at all, man. It's just a lot of stuff that just don't make sense to me. That's not logic. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that that I don't, you know, understand with this case. Things that don't make no sense, you know. And like I said, Benjamin, um, I guess is ordering the body to go to DC for a private autopsy to be done and not deal with the coroner from Mississippi, so they could really see what happened. I'm glad they're doing that. Like I said, salute to Colin Kaepernick for that. And they saying Tyler Perry's gonna pay for the funeral. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that too. I had sent you that and I posted it on my community wall that Tyler Perry is now involved in stuff like that. And sometimes, man, and we talked about this, I know some of these people, quote unquote, famous celebrities or whatever, they puppets and all of that. It's just sad that they gotta get next to a story like this for it to be, you know what I'm saying? For people now, like, oh my God, Tyler Perry's involved, or Colin Kaepernick is donating this much amount of money. Let's do something. Why does it have to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get it, man. I don't. And again, salute to all the content creators that was doing stories on it, because again, we need to start shedding light on stuff like that. Of course, not everybody's going to talk about it. They rather talk about entertainment stuff. They rather talk about these celebrities because, you know, they're getting money from it. That's cool. Salute to them. Me, I'd rather talk about stuff like this. This is what counts to me because I can show my children this and they can learn and gain some information from this. You get what I'm saying? Me talking about Jay-Z performing last night in Yankee Stadium, what is that doing for me and my children? Go ahead.
Mm.
Hey.
All right. So y'all just saw this video, and I'm pretty sure everyone that's on here is abreast about the whole Nolan Wells case. What do you think happened based on all the facts that you heard? Y'all could drop it in the comment. I guess I'll put a link. Um, and also, Mel, if you still are going live when I have to go in that meeting, I'll just
Mhm.
leave y'all live and go on to the meeting and come back if it's. But for me, just listening to that video and then all the other facts, this reminds me of the classic white entitlement Emmett
Mhm.
Till type thing. We could
Mhm.
whistle, look, and even possibly touch your women, but don't whistle, look, and assuming that that girl was a white girl. Was she a white girl?
Yeah. The one that he left
Okay.
with? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
She was
Okay.
right.
So
Yeah.
it gives me Emmett Till vibes.
Hmm.
Who is he? We know you're in this neighborhood, and it's okay for you to be our friends or associate, but you crossed the boundary, dude. Now
Hmm.
you're touching our women, and we're not good with that. And he probably came back and probably was thinking they're his friends. Oh, she said this, and I think this is going to go down with us.
Hmm.
And I think they beat the hell out of him. Like, who the hell do you think you are?
Mhm.
Hard ER. They beat that boy down. They held him. They made him, open up. He probably could have been alive and opened up his phone. Who don't you don't know. They probably beat him up and told him to open up this phone. I don't know.
Mhm.
But one thing's for sure, I believe that his friends did it.
Yeah.
They
No, that's a
did it,
fact. Mhm.
or they are involved. They're complicit. They are involved in it.
Yeah, I mean
So
that's who he was last seen with and was with. You know what I'm saying? Why you deleting stuff off of his phone? You know what I mean? You brought him brought his mother the phone, and you don't know you, so you left without trying to find him. You get what I'm saying? Then one of the kids' moms is a judge. She deactivates her account, and because for safety reasons, you know what I'm saying? And why they all deactivated their accounts. Then there's audios of Nolan's friends that say all of these white boys, because they all like teammates of his. I listened to the audio of a lot of friends being on podcasts and doing little interviews talking about all of these kids was part of the football team or some form of teammates of his. They're known for doing some form of drug. So when
mm,
I remember hearing that, I said, "Damn, maybe they was trying to force him to do this drug." Because there's an audio of him arguing, asking for his keys. You know what I'm saying? Or something he was asking about, like arguing about something.
give
You
me
know what I
my
mean?
keys. I thought
Yeah.
I
No.
thought I heard on the audio I can't swim.
Yeah, I heard that one too.
Um
Yep, we talked about
yeah,
that. The life jacket
but
that he was wearing wasn't an adult life jacket. It was more for like a child,
right.
a kid. So there's a lot of that too.
But if he
You
ain't
know?
waterlogged, I don't think he drowned.
No, I
I
mean
think they
obviously.
they I think they beat him up.
Yeah.
One thing about this case, um, and sorry y'all, sorry, not sorry. Um, the behaviors of the parents, um, y'all gonna probably look at me strangely when I
Listen,
say
man,
this.
this is a grown folks.
Parents,
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
parents, parents, parents that love their children are going to protect and love their children. We just have a different kind of love for ours.
Mhm.
Because of the way society treats us, we treat ourselves that way. The assumption that our child is guilty, the assumption that we need to do the right thing, all of these things. White people automatically protect by
Yeah.
any means,
Yeah,
and
correct.
then they dial it back to lesser charges. We
Well,
automatically serve our children up.
there's a case that happened of a young dude went to go chill with two white boys, and he was unalived, and the parents helped their sons to cover it up, I believe. I forgot the name of the kid who was unalived by the two white boys, but there is a case of that. So I just wanted to mention that when you said that the two parents try to help their sons cover it up. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of that. Again, at the end of the day, it's just nasty work that this boy went missing. Because I even put a picture, and I showed the reverse. I said, what if, and I showed the same similar picture. I showed three black dudes with one white dude in the middle. These three black dudes would have been sitting in a jail cell right at this minute. From the time that white boy didn't make it home, and the parents was like, oh, well, he went out with his three black friends. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. So when people are saying, well, it's not always about race, we're making it about race, like, stop it with that nonsense, man. Let's be real out here. You know,
It is definitely about race, but for me, I don't know. I try to be kind of objective as a parent. Like I said, with the parents, I expect them to do exactly what they're doing. So that's
Mhm.
not a red flag for me.
Yeah, well, that's not shocking or surprising.
Yeah,
Right.
no,
Yeah.
it's not. It's
Hmm.
just what is a red flag for me is that, for us, we don't cherish our children that way.
Hmm.
Because you're gonna have to you're gonna have to prove to me that my child did it, because I'm gonna protect them until we get to a space where I'm like, okay, you were involved in this capacity. Now it's time for us to do the right thing. So that's just not a shocker. But for, like I said, for this whole thing with the boys, they did it. I believe they did it. Um, what are we gonna do? Because not for nothing, Nolan Wells is dead and gone. We're gonna go through this system. These white people gonna do what they want to do.
Correct.
We have to figure out how do we stop the Nolan Wells situation, which is uh Emmett Till 2026.
Yeah,
To
I mean, it's
me,
not gonna stop. Yeah, it's not gonna stop. Just like black folks are still being hanged in 2026. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that's not gonna stop. It's just about how can, we protect, our children, or the kids in our neighborhoods and stuff like that. That's how I look at it. I'm not, I can't save everybody,
yeah, we
unfortunately.
can't.
You know,
But
go ahead.
but we can start small and start talking to our children about the reality of the
Mhm.
world. Slavery. You know what? And forgive me too, because I hear a lot of people saying slavery never happened. So if slavery, you kind of helping them erase some things. Because if slavery didn't happen, then you got to believe that the rape and the lynching didn't happen. And then you got to believe that the hangings didn't happen. Then you got to believe some of the other things didn't occur. So then you got to believe that it's not necessary to teach your children that. So
Mhm.
where are we leaving them?
Yeah. Yeah, because at the end of the day, when it comes to the Jewish people, they make sure they tell you about,
The
what they
Holocaust.
exactly. There's no forgetting that. But they want us to forget and not talk about what might have happened, what didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother discussion for another day. I see you dropped the link, right? That's the link for people to come up. Yeah, we're not gonna
Hmm.
be on here too long, y'all. So if anybody wants to come up, you're more than welcome. Peach has an important meeting. When you get off, I'm gonna get off as well. I got stuff I gotta do. I might just go live myself to make sure my channel is working the way it's supposed to. Because you told me there's it was supposed to be streaming on my platform as well. But either which way, ain't nothing gonna stop this from the train moving. We still gonna stay in motion. You feel me? And the revolution will be televised. We need to stop saying it won't be televised. Yes, the revolution can and will be televised. Everybody has a camera phone now. So why can't it be televised? You know what I'm saying?
Um, the link is in the chat if anybody want to
Yeah.
join in.
Yeah. Didn't say anything. Lloyd, if you want to pop up, he said, I always say, stop thinking these people our friends. Lloyd said that, which is true. I agree with him. You know, again, I know some of them that are real solid. Um, I don't have to
Mm,
question,
I told
hey,
you my opinion.
no, I know what you, hey, listen, man. Again, I'm just, me, a lot of the friends that I have or brothers that I have and sisters, I can seriously say if I put that title on you, we have history with one another. You know what I mean? It's 20 plus years we have with one another. So,
Race war happened. I'm sorry. I love you, white friends. But if a race war happened, I will not be that sister that's on that television program that got betrayed. Stay
yeah.
away from me because I'm killing you.
Now I feel
I'm
you.
telling you that right now. And you Uncle Toms, I'm killing you too. If it pop off, I'm getting rid of all the questionable players on the board. You're gone.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with feeling that way. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with feeling that way. Who's up here? I can't see the name.
It's
It
to
just
live.
Talib. Okay. Salute, man. Salute.
Peace, peace. How you guys doing?
Peace. Doing very well, man. Can't complain. How
Great.
about yourself?
You know me, I'm always Mr. Magnanimous.
Okay, Mr. Big Words.
You know, it's a great word. It means to be uplifted or above the petty. That's why I love it.
Okay.
because it really conveys what I feel. But I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to say something, about I heard what y'all was talking about. That was a great show, guys. You guys always do a great show,
Appreciate that.
bringing great information to the people.
Mm-hmm. Appreciate
You
that.
know, um, I just feel like it's a psyop. I don't feel like it, excuse me. It's a
Mm-hmm.
psyop.
Mm-hmm.
This is to obviously the plan of the technocrats with the government is to incite a race war, to incite civil disobedience, and to incite a division in the
Mm-hmm.
civil population, which
Mm-hmm.
will inevitably lead to law
Mm-hmm.
for these
Correct.
cameras that are now everywhere, to now
Yeah.
initiate them into Congress and say, now, because of
Mm-hmm.
this, we have the right to follow everybody and we can use precognitive crimes on people. We tracked you, we know your history, we understand your psychology, and we can predict that you will commit this crime. And so we can come get you before you commit a crime.
Mm-hmm.
See, because the
Correct.
reason I say this is every summer they do this to us. It starts around
Yeah.
May,
Every year. Correct.
every
Correct.
summer.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially around the elections too. They push.
hmm
Go
They
ahead.
bring
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
big, but nobody's talking about all of the black people that's actually being hung.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why that not on the news? Why nobody paying for their funeral?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are we
Exactly.
not
That's
upset that black
correct.
people
Mm-hmm.
in the modern era
Mm-hmm.
being found hung on colleges,
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
neighborhoods,
Mm-hmm.
and in public spaces?
Correct. I try to talk about it as much as I can, you know what I mean? But
I
yeah,
know
I
you do,
agree with
brother.
you. Yeah,
I'm just
I agree with you. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And now
Yeah.
they want all of us to go, okay, we can't, because remember what, think about this, is funny, right? It's funny because what has been happening, black people, and you could watch social media, like black people done opted out of all confusion. We ain't giving our 2 cents. We doing our little boy, like, wait, we ain't fuck with you, Target, we ain't with you, Chinese people, we ain't, right? But we
Yeah,
ain't
yeah.
saying nothing.
Correct.
We've been
Correct.
quiet. We've been quiet, too quiet. And then when we do say something, what is black people are saying for a minute, it has a whole movement telling black people to sit down,
Mm-hmm.
stay out of this. This ain't
Yeah.
our fight.
Yeah.
And now what? They done what? They knew they had to do a little something. Now the Anthony Carmelo wasn't enough. You saw that, right? It wasn't enough. It didn't spark enough,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? It got
Yeah.
both sides fighting with each other, but not enough. But now we have another situation that's
Mm-hmm.
oddly similar to the last situation in the sense of we don't really know what happened in these and you see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
somebody was killed, and now the person being killed, opposed to looking at the situation, it's a race situation. You see what I'm saying? They were
Correct.
killed because
Correct.
they're race.
Yeah. Nah, brother, and that's what I was trying to say. I wasn't going against what you're saying. Some of this is what we talked about, psychological warfare. We already know the spiritual warfare and all of that. To me, it's like how you said, and I agree with a lot of what you're saying, because like-minded, think alike. So we be having these builds on other platforms, for the most part. Um, I feel like you said, we've been talking about the race war that they want to happen, the division, blacks, white. It's the people that come up. Because like I said, I can't seem to get it out my mind that a young brother came on a platform that I was on and said, well, we're the ones putting our energy and make it a race thing. And I'm like, hold on, what are you talking about? And when we ask him what's his age and be like, yo, we're talking about, yo, bro, Maybach said it's been happening to him in Boston. Brother Nasir's talking about it happened to him in Jersey. Philly OG said it was happening to him in Philadelphia. Other people are saying, bro, this is really happening. It's not, but again, some our people, bro, like I said, I turned on my phone today. I see more content being done on Jay-Z's video. This is what I'm saying. Again, no disrespect to anybody. I don't count people's money. I don't count no pockets. What you do is what you do. What I do is what I do. But this is why shit's gonna continue happening. And I'm sorry to say it, it's the truth. This is why we got mother suckers more worried about Jay-Z, Met Gala that just happened, the Fashion Week in Paris. Dumb shit that ain't gonna do nothing for us moving forward. I can't pass the Met Gala to my children. I have little ones. So that's why when I be talking, I be so passionate. And the ones who know me be like, yo, keep it up, brother. Keep it up. I see you. Keep doing what you're doing. Sometimes I don't want to turn this shit on because it's like, yo, I'm talking, but it's like womp, 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 Charlie Brown to a lot of people. No, the ones who's supposed to receive it, I know y'all get it. But a lot of times, like I said, I try not to pay attention to numbers, but it gets me upset that I can watch a content creator go at another content creator and they've been doing it for 6 years. There's thousands of people. I'm talking about cash apps, all of this shit. But then when you get on here, you're talking about some real shit. You're like, yo, where's everybody at? Where's everybody at? Why? Because I'm not talking about a celebrity. I'm not going at to live the other content creator. I guarantee, brother, me and you could create a fake beef. We could create a fake beef. Boston versus Nevada, you versus me. People will be flooding our fucking lives, bro. But we talking about some real shit. Ain't nobody around. You know, that's
Well,
why I don't worry. Go ahead,
well,
brother. Go
people
ahead.
people don't. What it is okay. One is I respect everything you're saying because it's true, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there is a conflation happening, right?
Okay.
Before, we remember how you used to look at YouTube. Remember how you used to look at these things. There
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a for you. It didn't exist,
Yeah, correct.
right? The
Yep.
algorithm wasn't dictating everything you saw.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Okay. So
Yep.
you had the option to really roam freely based on your own psychology and
Correct.
move about. You used to have to use that search bar a lot,
Yeah.
especially if you wanted to know something. So you, before you really spent a lot of time typing in and looking up what you wanted, right?
Mhm.
Which meant you were tailoring your experience to you.
Correct. Correct. That's
Okay.
a fact.
There's algorithms now.
Correct.
Most people who watch social media, they don't use the search bar.
Yeah.
When
Like you said,
most
it's
people
for
who
you.
watch, there you
Mm-hmm.
go. Well,
Correct.
before you got their choice, it's
Mm-hmm.
a choice that was made for them based on their so-called preferences. But these
Correct.
preferences was artificially conflated, right?
Correct.
Because just because they hit the like on one video doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean that's what they're into,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
But the
Yep.
algorithm's going to say, oh, okay, well, let me give you more like this and more like this and
Exactly.
more like this. And then
Correct.
you end up in an echo chamber.
Yeah. Now I'm with you. You're right. Because Netflix is doing it now. Instagram does it. Nah, you're right. And this is what Jalen Brown was talking about.
Brother
So,
Nasir is on. I'm gonna
all right,
step out
salute,
for a
brother.
minute. Y'all
Yeah, I
good.
agree with you, Talib. I definitely agree with you. But see, this is why me on my YouTube, as far as my 1804 channel, I shut that off. So, like you said, I'm subscribed to you. It's gonna show me your live. I'm subscribed to Brother Nasir, Peach. It's gonna give me what I'm. You know what I mean? My algorithm,
Exactly.
they can't control me. You know what I'm saying? And so I shut it off. But on my sports channel, I noticed that. I noticed it a minute ago. Probably started a couple of years ago, or maybe even further back. When you like one thing or you watch this video, same thing with the advertisement. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they're controlling all of that. Go ahead.
And then it's connected to Google, and so it's
Correct.
also connected to the microphone. So
Correct.
when you're having a conversation, when you're
Mhm.
talking, it's
Correct.
recording, it's picking a profile of you. Now it's
Mhm.
going into its algorithmic form where it starts searching everything and scouring the internet to
Correct.
pull together a curated amount of information that is already conceived that you can experience in a day.
Correct.
So your whole day of whatever you think you're going to look at or what you think is there's already been set for you. So just think about it like that. So now we're understanding that. Do you understand why everybody's looking at Jay-Z's freestyle?
Correct. Yeah, I
Right?
already
Because
do.
the
Yeah.
algorithm has nothing even to do with these creators a lot of time. Like I'm learning trying to grow my channel that it's not even just about my content.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's about how I'm setting it up. It's if I'm
Correct.
talking about the same thing that 1,000 other people are talking about, because
Correct.
then I get lost in the shuffle, right? They're
Yeah.
gonna,
Yeah.
well, you know, he's doing the same thing this guy is, but this guy's more popular, so we'll just kick him down to the 100th spot.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a fact. You are
You know,
right. Yes.
everything's going by numbers now. There's no human interaction anymore, and we are becoming soulless in many ways because the thing is set up in a way where it feels organic to the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you scrolling through the YouTube and you see the video and it says, you know, so and so was killed. Did he die? Remember, it's all set up clickbait because they want you to push the button, right? So
That too.
it's extreme. The titles are always extreme
Correct.
because the
Correct.
mind responds a certain way. Then you go, oh, that you click on it. Now you feel like you discovered it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now I
right?
was telling Peach, the funny thing is I was telling Peach that's why I have a video on my sports channel that's close to 200 mil. The way I titled it and what I said in the video, I said there seems to be a trend going on in the NBA. I'm showing black players with white women. That's almost at 2 million. Last time I checked, it's at over 1.7 mil. You see what I'm saying? So I learned that. No, but you're right. Everything I watch a lot of the big content creators, same thing. The thumbnails that they create, the picture, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
one. That's the visual, right? That gets you to let me see. Oh shit. I did it, but I didn't do a video to it. I showed after the verses, I showed what's his name? Pleasure P
Mm-hmm.
stepping on Omarion's neck. You get what I'm saying? Then that's just on my community wall, a post that I made, that gravitated people. So well, somebody actually hit me up and thought it was real because it looks like, with the AI and all of that. So it has
Mm-hmm.
Precious P's face and it has Omarion on the floor and his neck is like
I
this and
saw
there's
it. I saw it. I
yeah,
liked it. I'm one of the
yeah.
people that liked it.
So everything you're saying, I'm with you on that. You know what I'm saying? Salute, brother Nasir. What's up, man? I'm with
Peace.
you on all
How
that.
you doing,
Yeah,
brother?
peace,
Salute
brother.
to the brothers.
Salute.
Also,
Your audio. Okay, now I can hear you clear. I can hear you clear
they
now.
Oh, go ahead,
they
Nasir,
place
brother. Please
you
give your input.
Yep.
they
Go ahead, brother.
place you in algorithms that you not necessarily want to be in. Also, and those
Right.
hashtags put you in algorithms. Also, when you put
Right.
hashtag into your title, it puts you in algorithm. Also, and it's been plenty of times things that I'm not interested in. I'll put not interested, and they'll still put you in that algorithm
Correct.
because a lot of it's suggestive.
Mm-hmm.
It's very suggestive of what algorithm, or they want to suggest a interest to you, not
Right.
necessarily your interest, but they want to suggest a interest to you. And it's people socialize. A lot of anti-sociable people who are actually socializing because they don't know how to speak to people and they don't have no decorum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very anti-sociable.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because they develop something called parasocial relationship. And that's
Exactly.
where, where you interact with somebody on a thing that can't interact back with you, right? Where you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to have actual interaction with that individual, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do this with movies where we start caring for a person in a film, like, or a TV show, like, oh, I don't want to see him go. Like, bro, that's not a real person,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It's a
But you,
character, and that's what we have here. We have a whole lot of characters.
Mhm.
It's like for the most part, nobody is being themselves. For
Mm-hmm.
the most part, I know it's a lot of people who are exactly who they are, but it's a lot of people who are not being themselves. They come in and they be in their characters, and you can tell the characters from their behavior because they have a what I call a attention whoring mentality.
Mm-hmm.
They want the center of attention and the focus on them exclusively, and you can tell those are the characters. But the ones who just come up and they just give the information, and it's not like they're not overly aggressively talking to the audience. Those are one who just want the information out.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I
and I
sit
know exactly what
and I
you're
watch.
talking about
I
too.
sit and I watch and I listen. I'm like, it should be a criteria, especially with our people in my city, to be a criteria of talks to us
Mm-hmm.
because it's getting
Mm,
dangerous and detrimental. Based
Mm-hmm.
on as per the conversations myself and Maybach's been having all week, practically.
Correct.
It should be a criteria of who
I
talk to our
agree.
people. We shouldn't even allow everybody to talk to our people.
Wow,
That's a fact.
We shouldn't.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. I agree.
Powerful.
Because a lot of the information and the behavior of the people is very detrimental to what we're trying to accomplish, what we're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
we have contrarians that come among us regardless, contrarians and disagreeable people that come among us, no matter which way we're going as far as being on code, you'll always have somebody come up to offset. We can have a good build for 2 hours, but someone will come up and try to offset what we're discussing. And, you know, people know what channels they can go on and do that. Because they allow them to stay. They know they can't come to TEP with that. Come and join my discussion. I am the center of discussion. I initiate in the discussions with me. That's why I always tell my brother Mel, when you start a conversation on your platform, the discussion is with you. Unless you give somebody permission to change the subject, the conversation's with you. That's it. It's like, you know, say if you invite a whole lot of people to your house and everybody's sitting at your table, and you're the one who invited everybody and you're feeding everybody, but everybody's communicating amongst each other and you're sitting at the end of your table and nobody's talking to you. That's disrespectful. The conversation's supposed to be with you.
Yeah.
Because you're the host.
Correct. I was telling Peach that, brother, about the build that we was having on OG's platform, and you know, the young homie came on there and the whole energy was like thrown off. You know what I'm saying? With the nonsense that he was saying to us. And I just was like, man, once you got off, you said you had to make a call. I got off too, bro, because the whole energy shifted, bro. We was having a great build on this same topic that we're talking about today, the Nolan Wells thing. And here comes this young man. I don't mind people ask me things, you know, like he's saying, we building. Like, hey, brother Nasir, I don't know, you know, exactly what you mean by that. Can you elaborate? Can you explain? You know, can you give me that knowledge? That's cool. But when I notice there's a pattern every time we have a great topic and a great show going on, and there's people building, sharing information with one another, here goes this one person, here goes 2, 3 to just switch the whole, you know what I mean? Just come in there like, bro, I don't even want to be there no more. That's why I hit OG behind the scenes. I text him, I said, bro, I got off. You know, I appreciate you for always allowing me to come on the panel, but I can't do it with homie on the panel. Because I feel like, you know, remember, especially when I asked him the question, I'm gonna let you go to Lib real quick. I had asked the young brother, if you work for the government, you're making bioweapons for the government, and they said they're gonna use it on foreign land. But then you find out that they're using it on the American people here. Would you still work for them? He said, yes. That told me everything that I needed to know, bro. Sorry that and I told him, I'm glad I told him to his face. So if he sees this, bro, I already said it to your face. I'm not saying it behind your back or whatever. That tells me everything, you know, but go ahead. My fault to live. Go ahead.
Oh no, you good, brother. I'm loving this conversation right now, you know. And what the brother said was 1,000% on point, you know. I was gonna say, you know, I had a couple people come up before, you know, when I was doing heavy gyms, you know, and I learned how to neutralize. See, what happens is we haven't been taught to deal with each other psychologically, mentally, right? We've been taught to look at surface conditions as the root cause. See, a lot of these brothers, when they come in here and they're being disagreeable, what seems to be disagreeable, sometimes it's a case of attention seeking, as the brother was saying. But why are they seeking this attention? That becomes the true question. What's the purpose of this attention? The purpose of this attention is because there's a void in their life and they don't have anyone to fill it. They don't have the friends, they don't have the circle, they don't have the family. You see what I'm saying? Because they grew up and understand what parasocial relationships are, they jump into these spaces to vent out their personal frustrations in a way that they can get out without any accountability. Now, what happens when you allow a person, right, to speak their mind, and then you pace them, and then you lead them? Then they follow you. The brother said something earlier that was very deep. He said something about suggestions. They give you these suggestions. And I'm going to tell you, as a master hypnotist, okay, I will tell you, that's how you hypnotize people. That's what influences your life. It's how your mind interprets information. It's through suggestion. And you grew up learning. And
Yes,
who
sir.
you are today is based on that. You have two ways of being. You can be inferential, and that's somebody who never just hears what you're saying. And we meet brothers like this all the time, right? They don't hear what you're saying. They trying to find some hidden meaning behind it,
Yeah.
right? But
And
that's
it is also, my brother, subliminal suggestion. Also, it's mostly subliminal suggestion.
well, here's what subliminal suggestion merely means. Communication to the subconscious.
Exactly.
That's all it means. But the
Exactly.
subconscious is being communicated throughout the entire day, all day long. It's doing
Yes.
shit right now for you you're not even thinking about. The second part of your suggestion is called literal. And these are brothers that know how to take in, you give them an order, right? And they follow it to the T. If you try to get them to see past that, they might be like, I don't understand what you're talking about. And these are the two ways we take information in. Now, some people, all black people, because we went through trauma, all black people are what you call somnambulists. We can take in inferential and literal suggestion, even though in a relationship, we always are either inferential or literal. And they play on this. This is how they make, because they know that the mind has to feel like it's in charge. So they put all the wrong things out in front of us, make us feel like we discover it. And then what happens? The mind holds on to it. And because we wired for survival, that's why the drama gets so much attention. We are wired to look out for problems. So if you put problems in front of our face all day, what do we end up staring at? Right? So, bro, you nailed it. When we have to monitor who coming into our spaces, and we have to stop allowing these people to just speak, and we taking them as law. Because one thing I'm learning and learned from being in the Black conscious community, going and meeting Delbert Blair, meeting Francis Cress Welsing, all of these people, one thing I've learned is the one thing we missing. We got all this knowledge, but we don't have no tools. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I know you guys to do. Mel, it's always good to get up here and get to talk with you, bro. I love talking with you, man. You know that for years, man.
Likewise, brother. Nah, man, like I said, I don't sometimes, man, I be done with talking, man. I told Peach, man, I gotta definitely get the stream, y'all, because I don't mind giving people a voice if they, feel like they want to be heard or to be exposed to other people. You know what I'm saying? Because I sometimes like I said, man, I had some shit I was going through and people were hitting me up. Like I said, salute to everyone that was like, yo, man, where's the morning shows? Because I was going at the top of the top, like sometimes 5, 6 in the AM. I show the beach, the sun, I'm getting activated. And I'm like, listen, man, I got some shit. And they like, oh, damn, for real? So especially what I shared, like one of them being, Brother Nasir, Peach as well, some other people that, we stay in touch with. They was like, damn, I didn't know you got that going on. I'm like, man, I can't turn on the camera and fake the funk. You know what I'm saying? So, but when I'm in the mood, oh yeah, when I'm in the mood, I'm in the mood. You see the vein coming on my neck, I'm passionate. You know what I'm saying? When you see that Macho Man vein popping, my forehead, you know what I'm saying? It's just again, I wanted to do it alive. I was gonna go. Me and Peach, we spoke a little bit. I'm like, well, let's do it together. I know she has stuff she got to do, so I was like, let's just do a quick live because again, it needs to be spoken about. And I like talking about shit that's gonna empower us and move us forward. Is everybody gonna be on the same accord? No, I get that. I understand that. But these are the things I'd rather be conversing about. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, you already, you know, tapped in, locked in with us. You know what I mean? So it's always great. I watch some of y'all shows, even like I told you, if you don't see me in the chat, don't mean I'm not paying attention. You know what I mean? Don't mean I'm not watching. I just be having stuff going on, you know what I mean? To where I can't be on there, but I'm listening. Like last night I watched for a little bit, and then next thing you know, I was out like a lamp, brother. You
That's
know?
good, man. You need rest, brother.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
need it, you know. And
That's a
I just
fact.
try to, we a family over here. We building something. We gonna be just as big as the rest of them. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And the thing is, no, we're not an echo chamber over here. It'd be really weird if we all saying the same shit. You know, there have to be some diversity. We have to think differently so we
Correct.
can create something that's better, you know?
Correct.
And if you can't push up against what I'm saying, then how do I know what I'm saying has any real weight?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? We here to, steel test steel, bro.
Correct. Iron sharpens iron. I'm definitely with that. I don't want everybody to agree with me because I'll never learn. We don't learn that way. That's
No,
not what I was
nobody
saying. It
does.
was just it's the people that come and switched everything around. That was the issue because homie was like, "Oh, we making it a race thing," and we're like, "Hold on, brother, this shit is going on, brother." Nasir asked him like, "Yo, young brother, how old are you?" And he's like, "Yo, how old are you, young brother?" "Oh, I'm 70 years old." It's like, no, you come up here clowning, bro. Like,
Well, that
come.
tells you that he was 23.
Huh? What you say?
That tells you that he was 23.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell he was in his 20s. It's just, again, this is somebody that, I heard him say if he didn't go to that platform, he would have still been brainwashed with the religion. So that tells me that you did learn something from this platform because now you look at religion in a totally different way. But
But
we
now you know
haven't.
he's also still brainwashed
There
with
you go.
race.
And that's what the host was trying to tell him. Like, bro, this is really happening. So the brother played a video and showed, these, pale folks doing their thing. And he's like, so you don't see this video? And it was like, oh, what? I heard Aryan Brotherhood, Aryan Nation. And I'm like, bro, this is real. This, if we did that, there would be police everywhere. These dudes get to march in the street and do what they want, whether they got a permit or not. But for the most part, they get to demonstrate what they want. When we congregate like that, the whole police department is already there. That
That's
happened not too, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's
Mhm.
about race because the US government made it about race. What are you talking about? Anybody say
Correct.
it's not about race, you'd be like, well, who created race?
Correct. That's what we
You
was trying to
ask them,
tell the
do
young
you know
man.
the
Correct.
history of what races are? Do you know
Correct.
where it
That's
comes
what we
from?
was trying to tell the young man. Like, yo, everybody has experienced one way or another that their skin is why they being disrespected, or maybe the customer service ain't that well, some form of fashion. I remember hearing a content creator says, oh, there is no racism. That's just an experience. And I'm like, hold on. Like, so
Wait,
there's not, yeah.
did you ever read Darwinism?
Listen,
Do you understand where race came from?
yeah, like,
This is why
listen.
I try to talk. When I talk about it from science. Do you understand where
Yeah,
race came from? Why we
yeah.
say the racist?
Correct.
It was
Correct.
based upon phenotypes.
Correct. Yep.
Because white people in here.
Yo, you in the matrix, Talib. On my end, you sound, I
Yeah,
don't know what happened. Now I can hear you. Go ahead.
want to know why inferior.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know,
He was with his information.
correct,
My first thing had this,
correct, correct.
right? But intelligence came from where? From France.
Yeah.
Because they created social stratification. They needed a reason to tell the poor they couldn't make more money.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is what I'm saying. Like, people don't know the history of even why schools exist. Schools exist because of what? Because of Rome. Because of, do you know the only places that ever had schools were the civilizations that had armies. Did you know that?
Mm.
The reason for school was to train kids to become soldiers, to give their life
Soldiers.
to something that had nothing to do with their family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And otherwise, everyone learned from their family. Do you know that's where last names came from?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got it from the slave master. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. It had to do with what you did. That's where you ran a mill. That's why you had a last name like Mills.
Mm. Yeah. It's deep. It's all
Every
real
one
deep.
of those names referred to the work that the family did.
Mm-hmm.
That's where last names came from,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
this whole history of race and all this, like, bro, what are you talking about? White people created race so that they could say on paper that they're better than you.
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about? You cannot argue that with me. There is no arguing that because it's written down on paper. Anyone else that says differently, well, then I know that you're not educated. And I
Yeah.
don't argue with uneducated people
Yeah.
because I'm not going to educate you in this conversation. But I will give you a secret.
Mm-hmm.
If you use non-aggressive language with people,
Mhm.
you can bypass their critical mind.
Mhm.
When you say things like this, you may begin to notice a shift after I finish this sentence about how you think about racism.
Mhm.
See how the mind can't push back against that? And it starts looking for evidence. This is what they did to us. They used sophisticated, and we call it what? Jargon. It's why we don't like math. It's why we won't get into banking.
Mhm.
They hid it behind words.
Yeah.
Words that when you start to read, sort of put you in a trance.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
But man, I
Exactly.
know you gotta go, man. I'm sorry, brother. I never get to talk to you, so I had to go in with you.
Nah, it's all good, man. It's all good. I appreciate you for coming up here. I appreciate brother Nasir. Salute to Peach. You know what I'm saying? I know she got the meeting probably going on at this moment. But salute to everybody. Lord, Angie baby, everybody that tapped in, whoever catches the replay. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all. Just hit the like button, share the live, comment, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Tell us how you feel. But I appreciate you, brother. Enjoy the rest of your day. I always say stay vigilant, move militant. That's how I always end my live,
It's
man.
113 degrees out here today.
It's what?
113.
Man, y'all can keep that out there in LV, man. I don't want that. My homie asked me to come down there. I told him, the birth month of mine, October, is when I'll come down there. It'll be
Oh,
cool. I'm
come in
not coming.
October, yo, you'll love it. You'll
Yeah, I
love it. The
already
weather's
know.
like Hawaii.
Yeah, I already listen, man. I already know. Same thing with Florida. I don't like being in Florida during the summertime. I like being there the fall time because at least it gets some cool. We get some breeze. Y'all can keep all that heat out here, man. Y'all can have that. More power to y'all.
Well,
2 thumbs up for that.
you just got a taste of it though.
Huh? Oh
Out
yeah,
there,
yeah, yeah. And guess what? I stayed in the house. I mean, I was outside, but everywhere I went, I made sure there was air conditioner going on or some central air. Y'all can keep that. I don't like that. I call it the annoying weather. I don't want to be outside sweating profusely, and I'm not even a big guy at all. But when all of that shit's happening, oh yeah, I know
yeah.
it's hot. Yeah, yeah. Y'all can stay with the devil, man. Y'all can play around with the devil down there in NV, Arizona, all those hot ass dry, but y'all can have that. Miami, y'all coconut trees are standing still like this. Nah, man, I don't need that. Y'all can have that. Y'all can
I
keep
can't
that.
even say that. You got that. I'll leave it
Yeah.
out. You got it. You got it.
But salute to you, brother. Like I said, once again, salute to everybody who tapped in, man. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe out here, man. Be blessed up. You heard? But yeah, peace, y'all. Peace. Thanks for everybody.
Let's talk. Are you ready to chat?
On a journey. He was lovely and
Are you ready to kick it?
Don't play with me. See y'all at the next.